So that forecast for your July 28th, today, a high of 93 degrees, heat advisory, isolated pop-up shower, thunderstorm, and our sunset there again, 8:56. Tonight, evening shower or storm possible, otherwise muggy, partly cloudy, low of 77. Just really steamy. It's AC all the time right now. Your Tuesday forecast to 80 out the door, super muggy. You know, it is sultry, it is sizzling, all those S words for the summer pattern. 90 degrees by noon, heat advisory again tomorrow, 96, feeling like possibly up to 105, and not much rain relief. Kind of taking the rain chance out for tomorrow. There's just not much to kick up, maybe a very, very, very isolated shower or thunderstorm. So the 7-day forecast, mid-90s continue through Wednesday with mostly dry conditions, and then a decent chance of some spotty showers as a cool front moves through. Look at 84, the high Thursday, and then notice some cooler nighttime temperatures with the 7-day forecast. So this is the big news right here later this week. We're down to 66 Thursday night, 83 with much lower humidity Friday, and down to the lower 60s for Friday night. Maybe some outlying areas, some of those typical cool spots in the valleys might touch the upper 50s at nighttime as well. And 84 Saturday, and 85s Sunday and Monday. So the 80s, even some lower 80s, winning out, taking over most of the 7-day forecast. Just got to get through the next several days, and then it will eventually feel so much better across the area. So there's your forecast. We're about to dig into that weather model data as we do every day here on Ben at 10, into the deeper weather nerd segments of our show. Perry Porter, good morning. Bring on the cooler weather. Even though I love hot weather, I'm kind of ready. I was telling Brady yesterday when we were playing golf, like, this is exactly how Florida golf is like most of the year. It was pretty brutal. All right, let me go ahead and start to bring up the weather models here. And again, we'll take another look at the radar as well. As you can see, we're starting to see some showers and thunderstorms get a little bit closer from the north. As we compare and contrast what I noticed earlier this morning, I was looking at the weather models, say around 5:30 a.m. this morning, and it looked like the HER weather model trying to fizzle out some of this over the next few hours, then pop it back up late afternoon. The weather models all over the place on timing, not doing a great job for today, which it can be very difficult to time out these kind of random pop-up showers and thunderstorms. But you can see overall, you know, if we're just basing on what we see here, there's a better chance over southern Indiana here over the next few hours, and maybe some of this persisting. So let's go ahead and bring up the, again, if you're a regular viewer, the HER weather model, the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh weather model. And we'll look ahead through this afternoon. And I like what the Climate Prediction Center has in their 6 to 10 day outlook, which we'll take a look at here in just a second too. All right, so we're going to bring up the HER. Here's the reflectivity. Here is now. It is picking up on some of those showers. This is at 11 o'clock. So notice that it does keep a couple of these showers going. Maybe seeing some of that first around Bedford, maybe Seymour, Paoli, Salem, Austin, Scottsburg. Chance of a shower passing through over the next couple of hours. Here's at noon. Again, kind of on a weakening trend, maybe just an isolated shower or downpour persisting. Certainly no severe weather. This is at 1 o'clock. Notice it kind of dissipates it here midday into the early afternoon. This is at 2 o'clock. It shows nothing on the future radar. This is at 3 o'clock, still mainly dry. So a large portion of today will be dry, especially in Kentucky. This is at 6 o'clock. So notice as we get late afternoon, early evening time, as we ramp the heat up, the air becomes a bit more unstable. And that's going to bring back a chance for some of these scattered showers and thunderstorms, or at least widely scattered, pretty isolated still. Here's your 7 o'clock view. That's kind of the nature of these pop-up showers and thunderstorms, randomly placed across the area. Here is 8 p.m. So kind of got to get a little bit lucky to get some of that rainfall. Your yard might be drying out if you haven't had much rain lately. And then this is at 9 o'clock. And once we get towards sunset, a lot of this will begin to fade away, kind of like clockwork this time of the year. And Mary Dale saying, hopefully we'll get some rain here in New Albany. Yeah, a lot of southern Indiana actually got some rain last night, but it was kind of fizzling out as it was moving in. Let me see if I have this scene here loaded. The rainfall total. Let's see if it goes back to last. No, I don't want that one. I'm not sure if I have that one loaded up. Let me check here. Bear with me. Bear with me. It's total precip. Oh, that's just today. So that's just showing the rainfall that we've had today. Let's bring up the dew points here real quick. We're talking about corn sweat and evapotranspiration. And the dew points are off the charts. So eastern half of the United States under blue, that is tropical air. And I just saw an 80 dew point, which is insane. 79 dew point around Evansville. 81 dew point east of Vandalia, Illinois. Oh, man, that is brutal. Low 80s dew points. There you go. In those farm fields, it's worse than Florida. So we got upper 70s, low 80s dew points, which is as bad or worse than much of Florida. So you get the picture here. It feels no different than if you were there along the Gulf Coast or the southeastern coast. All right, let's get back to the weather model data. We'll look at maybe that chance, a little better chance of some rain Thursday as that front moves in. I think we'll get let me put up the future radar here. That front to move in Thursday, the NAM should be able to take us out that far. The NAM weather model in AM. So that is going to be our July 31st, last day of July, front moving in. And so it does show us as that front moves through our area on Thursday, decent chance of some spotty showers and thunderstorms moving through the area. Definitely not a washout as that moves through. More importantly, as that front moves through, we're looking at the precipitable water. So it'll probably still be a bit humid out there for Thursday, but look at that cleaner air that's going to be drifting our direction here from the north. That is the relief that we have been waiting on right there. So it does look like it will have the punch, the gusto to make a move and push this tropical air down to the south. So that's what we've been waiting on. Thankfully, the model data is consistent ever since last week. Pretty impressive when you're modeling the atmosphere with numbers, numerical weather prediction, and then making maps out of the numbers and the equations that, I mean, it times it out that well. All right, so we're going to get rid of that and look ahead a little bit at even more good news as we look at the longer range GFS weather model, which is timing out similar to the Euro. The Euro is a little bit slower. Euro really gives us the big time relief on Friday. But let's go to Thursday afternoon first. Here's 5 p.m. So Thursday, still a bit humid across the area, but I think with the clouds, we'll be down into the 80s. Now, here is the much better relief on the way. This is August 1st, our Friday, and we are solidly in the relief. So all that tropical air heading even south of Kentucky on Friday. Low dew points, refreshing air right there for your Friday. How long can it linger? Saturday, August 2nd, looking fantastic. Again, you want that red to be south. You want it out of here. we can finally evaporate and dry out our sweat and feel a whole lot better. Much more outdoorable weather. Cheers, big happy break here. All right, so that's Saturday. Let's go into Sunday. That will be the 3rd of August. And I think it's going to jump up a little bit. It tries to bring back a little humidity. Shouldn't be too bad. Notice, though, that the worst of it way down south. So overall, this pocket of feel-good air sticks with us through the weekend. We'll go into Monday, the 4th of August, as the year 2025 just seems to race on by. So maybe a little more humidity, but the worst of it is still down over the southeast and down towards Florida. So that's Monday, and then we should still be in the low mid 80s on Monday. And then we go into Tuesday, that is August the 5th. Maybe a touch more humidity, but the worst of it still to the south. So a little bit of a nice weather pattern change to kick off our first week of August. Let's bring up the temperatures for our Friday, August the 1st. And these are going to look a whole lot better. You can see the heat wave smashed down to the south. And when we click on the temperatures here, notice it's even trying to pop up some 70s in the afternoon Friday. So doesn't that look a whole lot better there for Friday? Look at those temperatures showing 70s and lower 80s. So the farther north you go, it gets a little bit cooler that direction. And I'm going to go ahead and clear this out. And we've got some good mornings here. We've got Deborah Carney. Good morning from Springfield, Kentucky. Deborah, thanks for tuning in here this morning. And a look at the dew point temperature on Friday. This is perfect. 50s and 60s. You're going to notice so much of a difference in the air. Good feeling stuff there so our dew points now, again, anywhere from around 75 to 80, as bad as Florida out there. But then that nice change. Dew points dropping by 10 to 15, just an indication of a massive change to the humidity levels for our area. So all good news right there. And then